تهیه و تنظیم در استودیو بیزرایز.
So guys, welcome back to Kaizen Cure. Now, a lot of time people say you get what you deserve, and I would actually disagree with that. And that is the topic of today's module. Now, it said, people say work hard and you get what you deserve in this life. But why is it that some people work hard and for some reason they just never get what they deserve? Well, the reason is, in my opinion, it's because you get what you think you deserve. And the reason that is because what you think you deserve is how you'll act, and how you'll act is what you'll get. Okay, so as I said, you are going to deem your own self-worth what you think you deserve, and then your actions are going to be congruent to that. Now, obviously, every action leads to a reaction, right? So every action has a result. Okay, so as I said, pretty much everything in this course is trying to strip back a layer further, trying to get to the root cause of everything. So as I said, how you act is going to be entirely congruent with what you think you deserve. So as I said, we like to feel congruent. We don't like to feel like a fraud. We don't like to feel out of place. Whatever it is that we, whatever self-identity we have, we like to work from that space. Okay, we don't like to, you see it all the time where like even friends, as you're trying to move up, your friends don't like the fact that you are trying to move up. They don't think it's congruent with your character, even though fuck that, because you're becoming a new person. And, they say stuff like, oh, I think you've changed, etc., etc. So as I said, there were times in my life where I would work so hard and at the last minute, I always self-sabotage myself. So guys, there would be times in my life where, for example, like, I worked so hard to get this client. And, we are a few meetings in, because they're a huge client, and we're a few meetings in, and I find a way to fuck it up. Right? I find a way to fuck it up. I can think of one very clearly that was going to be almost 10 grand retainer, which is pounds. Right? We got to the last moment, the last meeting, and right before I was about to close them, I was about to sign them, for whatever reason, I thought that it was a good idea the night before to go out. And I don't usually drink, but I got super drunk and partied super hard with a bunch of friends. And for whatever reason, I thought that was a good idea. And I can give you another example where, I was with one of my business mentors out in Marbella, and there was another big client, and I sent over this email, and I asked them to look at it, and I got a terrible response from them. They thought I was extremely like rude and like not. It was just a very negative response to the proposal and the email I had sent over. And I showed it to my business mentor, and I'm like, dude, what do you think happened? And he's like, you didn't want it, did you? I'm like, what do you mean? Of course I wanted it. And he's like, no, I could tell you didn't want it. The way you wrote this, you didn't want it. And when I thought about it, I was like, well, shit, yeah. I mean, maybe I'm not congruent to this. Maybe I don't really think I deserve this. And as I said, what you think you deserve is the space in which you will act. So for example, a lot of you guys are picking up the phone and you don't think you deserve these clients. So that's the space you're operating out of when you go ahead and you cold call them. Or you're taking these meetings and you're thinking like, shit, this business owner is doing me a favor when really you're the one doing them a favor. Or, you are, say you're hosting a webinar and you just genuinely don't, you don't think you deserve, like, you don't think your product is good, or like, and I mean, I guess that's a completely different topic, but like, you don't realize the value that you have, and you don't think you deserve as much as you probably do deserve, and you operate from that space. And then when it goes to sell something, there's that underlying frame that, okay, this isn't worth it. So as I said, this is something you guys really need to pick up on. Next time you guys kind of like fail or don't do as well as you
تهیه و تنظیم در استودیو بیزرایز.
you had hoped, rather than kind of looking at on the front, which is, okay, I failed, I didn't do as well as I could. Try and peel back the layers and instead go, okay, did I genuinely think I deserved it? Because as I said, if you don't think you deserve it, you're going to operate from an entirely different space. So this was simply a matter of placing self-worth on myself and freaking out when I felt like a fraud. As I said, there have been times in my life where I just feel like a fraud. I'm like, which is so weird, and I'm sure you guys get it too, is stepping into these like meetings with clients, or say you are doing your Shopify store or whatever it may be, and you're doing big numbers now. I'm sure you almost feel like a fraud. Maybe like even in your social circle, you're like, well shit, I'm having all this success, and maybe all of my old friends, like, they're still working shitty jobs, working at Starbucks or whatever. So you almost feel like a fraud, and you almost want to go back to that place you're comfortable at. You don't want to lose that identity. The hardest things for us as humans is ego death, right? So a lot of people, they'll do psychedelics and shit like that, and they'll experience ego death, which is kind of like where you strip away everything and you kind of realize like, I'm not this identity that I've placed on myself. And that's probably one of the most painful things for people to go through, because we like to know who we are, right? We like to know who we are, even if the data is pretty shit on it. We like to formulate this opinion and this identity of ourselves, even if we don't have enough data to really formulate a strong opinion. And if our identity or the data we've collected, if it's not self-serving. For a lot of you guys might have had 5 successes, 5 wins, 1 losses, and then now you identify with a loss. And that's not really self-serving. So, as I said, we on purpose will try to fuck things up when it's going too well, because we just feel out of alignment with this new person that we're becoming. And that's why this visualization, the visualizations and the affirmations and all that stuff is so freaking important. So, as I said, when I worked hard, I would fuck it up. And when I was failing, I would pick it up. When I worked hard, I fucked it up. And when I was failing, I would pick it up. It was as simple as that. If I was having too good a month, then I'd kind of slack and I'd fuck things up. And if I was having a really shitty month, man, I would pick things up so freaking quick. Right? And to give you guys an example as to where I'm at right now, pumping a lot of money back into my business, into infrastructure and team. But for me, I think I could not sleep at night if I made less than $50,000, or let's say $40,000 profit a month, net profit in my company. But if I got above $70,000 or $80,000 a month, then I know, for example, with me, I'm even having some success barriers getting past to like $100,000 a month profit, net profit. That's the success barrier for me. So, when things start to get too good, I kind of like start to fuck it up, or maybe I'll book a holiday when I really shouldn't be booking a holiday, tricking my mind into thinking, oh, you need a break now, you worked super hard. So at any level you're going to, and I'm sure I'm going to get the same thing once I hit $500,000 a month in profit, and then 1 million a month in profit. At every single stage, you kind of start to feel incongruent with, with just yourself. It's really hard to kind of step into that position and become the person that you're trying to be. Like you genuinely start to feel like a fraud at times. And as I said, I had to transform my identity, and it's still an ongoing process. Now, I just want to share with you 2 quick ways to go ahead and do that. First of all, touch success. So guys, I want you to go to the highest tier restaurants, but only get drinks and a small snack. Okay, and when I say drinks, try to avoid alcoholic drinks as well. You don't going to these higher tier restaurants, you'll start to I'm sure for a lot of you, it'll even make you a bit uncomfortable. You'll be like, you'll get very self-conscious, and you'll think you'll even think that people are starting to look at you or something.
تهیه و تنظیم در استودیو بیشتری.
At you or something. So go to these higher tier restaurants, and in these higher tier restaurants, just get something small, something cheap, but now you're around all of these quote unquote successful people, or you're in this very sort of elite environment. And I think that's an amazing thing. So go to these high tier restaurants, or go to a high tier bar, with one other friend, and just get something small. Don't break the bank, but go to these restaurants and start to notice yourself in and amongst these crowds. Another thing I recommend is go to Rolex or Cartier and just say you're looking to get one. Basically, go to Rolex and tell them you're looking to get an end of month gift to yourself, and try this stuff on. Go try on a Rolex. Walk in there and go, look, honestly, I don't want, because obviously don't be rude, because so many people go in there and just waste, you know, the Rolex staff or Cartier staff time. So just go in there and tell them, look, I'm looking to get myself end of quarter or end of month gift to myself. I'm not going to buy anything today, but I'd just like to try some stuff on so I know what I want to pick up when I make my purchase. And if you tell them that honestly, dude, they'll sit with you for 20, 30 minutes. Try on a $50,000 watch. Try on a $10,000 watch. Try on a $5,000 watch. A $25,000 watch. Go to Cartier. Try on some jewelry, some bracelets, whatever it is that excites you. You know, I would say the exact same thing for test driving a car. Now, unfortunately, to test drive a car, it's a lot harder to get your hands on a car to test drive. But if you're in a position to test drive a car, go test drive your dream car. Okay, touch success. Literally, like, touch it, have it in front of you, see what it could be like, and then pair that with going to, you know, even just being able to walk into Rolex or Cartier with confidence, or you know, AP. Walk in there with confidence and go, as I said, look, I don't want to waste your time. I'm looking to get an end of month or end of quarter gift to myself, you know, as a gift for some of the business success I've been having recently or whatever. Don't want to waste your time, but I do just want to try on a couple things so I know what to pick up when I do come back at the end of the month. And as I said, they're never going to say no to you. And that way you're also setting the expectations clearly with them. So guys, go do that. Go try it on. Go see what it's like to have someone's, you know, a regular person's year's wage on your wrist. Go see what that's like, you know, especially if a lot of you guys are having these like success barriers. And on any flights that you have cheap upgrade to, just pay the extra. Like I always used to, I'll be honest, I used to think that, you know, flying business and first class and stuff like that was stupid. Honestly, if it's not that big of an upgrade, just fly business. Like it's a different experience. It's a different mindset. You know, for me, I still probably fly 50% economy just because I'm in Europe, and anything that's for me personally, I usually just fly economy. But anything related to the business, I always fly business class. You know, it's on company card. I always fly business. All of that stuff is company expensible. You know, so if the upgrade is cheap enough, upgrade to business. See what it's like up there at the front of the plane. You know, see what it's like in the lounge. So as I said, guys, you know, on any flights that have a cheap upgrade to business, just pay the extra. It's worth it to get past that success barrier. The next thing is becoming that guy or girl, you know, in quotations, I guess. So one of the things I've always done is never stare at a car or take photos with / next to one. Guys, you want to make success seem almost like super nonchalant. You know, one of my favorite sayings is the hungry don't get fed. You know, if you are always like the guy who's like taking photos next to cars or like staring at cars, it's really weird. It's funny how it works. Like it in this world, the people that need shit the least get the most of it. It's really, really odd. You know, and as I said, it's this philosophy that the hungry don't get fed. You know, so because when you want something that bad, you're almost, you know, it's this juxtaposition where like you need to want your dreams, you need to take massive action on your dreams and your goals and your desires and want it so bad, but then also disattach from the outcome.
تهیه و تنظیم در استودیو بیزرایز.
Outcome. Because then it's weird, you start operating from a different place. You'll see these people who are so like money focused and hungry and stuff like that. They start operating from a weird, like sort of frenetic space. And, you know, not only myself have I noticed, but I've noticed in mentors of mine that are 9-figure earners, they literally told me, they're like, dude, relax on the whole money thing. Like, trust me, when you don't need it, you'll get it. Just as long as you're taking massive action and not just trying to meditate on a rock and manifest it. So, as I said, one of the things I've always done is I've never stared at a car. I'll notice a car. If I see a nice car drive by, cool, I notice it. I never stare at it. In my head, I never go, oh, you know, I wonder what life will be like once I have that car. Or I never take a photo next to a car. I see a lot of people doing that. Because, guys, the thing is, you're putting shit on a pedestal. And when you put things on a pedestal, it's like what you're telling yourself is that like I'm not deserving of that. So as I said, I always kept an abundance mindset. So much so that I got a tattoo about it. Now, most of you guys won't get a tattoo, but my tattoo reads, "My cup runneth over." And it's from the Old Testament. And basically, my cup runneth over means I have more than I need. So I went as far as to get a tattoo, but now most of you guys won't do that. And guys, the next thing I want you to do is never speak about money issues or troubles again. You never say that you can't afford something. Instead, you ask how you can afford it. And this is one of the first lessons I learned once I got into self-development and money mindset and stuff like that. You know, and Robert Kiyosaki, I think, is a big proponent of this. Like, never say that you can't afford something, because, you know, why can't you afford it? Because you don't have any money, or you don't have enough money. Well, then cool, just get more money. So if you want the car, or, you know, if you want the car, say for example, you want a personal trainer or you want a chef. Like, you know, for me, like, you know, money, like cars and jewelry and all this like flashy shit, like all that stuff is like cool, it's nice, but trust me, it gets really boring really quick. Instead, what's super cool is when you can hire like a full-time personal trainer or like a full-time chef or a cleaner or something like that. So, you know, next time that you're going, okay, shit, I should get a cleaner now, or maybe I should get a personal trainer, or maybe I should even get like a proper coach, a proper mentor, or whatever it may be. Don't say that you can't afford it. Don't tell yourself you can afford it. Instead, flip it and ask yourself how you can afford it. So guys, between touching success and becoming that guy or girl, you're going to start identifying a lot closer to being the type of person that, you know, brings in multiple 5 figures a month, 6 figures a month. Okay. And that's really the goal here, is to break free all these like shackles that you have, you know, completely relinquish all these shackles that you've been tied down to, and set you free so that you can start hitting these bigger numbers, start making more of an impact and touching more lives. So guys, you are one step closer to the Kaizen cure. Hope you guys all enjoyed this module, and I will see you in the next one.
تهیه و تنظیم در استدیو بیزرایز.